Good morning and welcome to yoga. My name's Sarah. I'm guiding you through more of a grounding flow today. And while we won't be up much on the feet, we're really going to get into the hips and into the heart today. So if you need a leg stretch, this is the perfect class for you. All right, so let's get started on our back today. We're on our back, flat on your mat. Pull your knees into your chest, give yourself a big hug. Just notice how you're showing up today. With your big toes touching, hands on your knees, let's take some big circles. So you're taking your knees to the four corners of the room and you're moving out and in, maybe even trying to sync your movement with your breath. So it's an inhale as we open and an exhale as we close. Taking the time to really fill up the belly every time you take a deep breath in. And we'll switch directions. All right, let's find some stillness. Pull your heels as close as you can into your hips, as close as you can to your sits bones. And with your hands at your side, palms face down, take an inhale and lift your pelvic floor, lift your middle back up off the earth. And your gaze is right in front of you, right through your nose. This is bridge. On your next exhale, come all the way down. Let's do that 2 more times, syncing your breath with this super subtle movement. It's an inhale that pulls you up. And exhale, release your breath. Come back down. Let's try one more time. Take a deep breath in, peeling up from the pelvic floor, lifting all the way to your shoulder blades. And exhale, come on down. Pull both knees into your chest. And we'll keep the right knee where it is. Extend your left leg to the mat. And from here, we find an extension with this right leg. I am super tight today, no judgment here. The first stretch is always the tightest. Lift your shoulder and your head up off the earth. And if you need a little bit more active stretch, engage the quad, lift the left leg. Take your shoulders down, back of your head down, even your left foot down if you took it up. And we'll bend this right leg for half happy baby. This is a sequence I do a lot if I've just come home from a run or if I did cycling that day. And take your knee across your body. Left hand finds the right knee, and we'll take our gaze, Parshvadrashti, nose to right hand. We're looking to the right. Allowing the twist just to happen kind of on its own. No forcing, no real pushing here to twist. Just seeing where we land. Let's come back to center. And we'll take both knees into your chest again. This time extend the right leg to your mat. Extend the left leg to the sky. And you can catch behind the thigh bone or behind the calf. And nose to knee, chin to shin, lift up. Belly engaged, chin to chest. Almost like you're tucking like an apple or an orange between your chin and your sternum. And if you need more engagement, lift this right foot. Put your head down, put your shoulders down, put your right foot down if you took it up, and pull the left leg a little bit closer to it, even if it's just like a hair. Bend your left knee, reach left fingers, left palm to the outside of your left foot, and we'll pull the left knee towards the earth. Pull your left knee into your chest, big breath in. And on your out breath, Take your knee over to the right. Extend your left arm, gaze through your fingers. Beautiful. Come on back to center. We'll take both feet in, right hand, left hand to the outside of your feet, and this is full happy baby. So we're gonna rock in from side to side. Get really playful here. I'm going to exit this pose for just a moment. Start to rock your body side to side each time you find your knees getting a little bit closer to the earth every time you rock. All right. And if it feels okay to you, you can straighten one leg, kind of like a bow and arrow here. And then with your knees together, hands behind your knees, let's roll maybe 3 or 4 times. Inhaling back, exhale forward. We'll land in Baddha Konasana. Your heels are together and your toes are together. We'll take a deep breath in through your nose. And on your out breath, start to hinge at your hips, nose to knee, for your forward fold. This is butterfly, so we are really honing in on the hips today. Beautiful. Inhale, look up, and exhale, release your feet. Right, extend both feet out in front of you. Your spine grows nice and long. Your feet are flexed. Inhale, arms up, look up, and exhale, lead with your lowest rib. Catch your toes, catch your ankles. This is Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. We'll take 5 breaths here. Notice every inhale, you lengthen your spine. Mine will be super exaggerated. And then exhale, forward fold. So on the inhale, you find the extension. On the exhale, flex. Last 3. 2. And last one. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release your feet. From here, we'll take the right heel in as close as you can get it to the groin. You can also flip the top of the foot up and move into a half bound pose. So the foot would be in the hip crease, right foot, left hip crease, knee down. If that's too intense for you today, this is always available. Heel right at the hip crease, toes right at the knee. All right, here we go. Inhale, take your arms up. Reach long and high, and exhale, forward fold. We're moving to find our nose, maybe make contact with our leg. No, it doesn't have to touch to make like an energetic contact. Beautiful. And we're opening through the back of the left leg. We're also opening through the right hip. Beautiful. Inhale, look up, and exhale, release your foot. All right, from here, we're taking both heels are flexed, so both feet are flexed, and we're stacking our shin bones for fire log pose. Keep that top foot flexed to protect the knee. Keep the back foot flexed to protect the knee. Hands at your heart. Deep breath in. Now the left leg's on top. Deep breath in. On your exhale, twist to the right and take your left elbow into the arch of the left foot. So your elbow will make contact with the top arched foot. So whichever, if you didn't put your left foot on top, you can do it the opposite way too. And we're using leverage here. We're trying to get our hands to the middle of our chest, to our sternum. Gaze up or gaze neutral. Beautiful. Inhale, release. I just love that pose. And from here, we'll slowly start to tip the weight of our chest forward. finding a somewhat forward fold in our fire log stack. I don't have to go too far into this to feel it. It's a pretty intense posture for the hips already without the fold. So go where you need to go. Beautiful. And let's slowly release. I want us all to release the knees and take some windshield wipers here. And then I want us to stand up without using our hands. There have been studies done that if you can stand up without using your hands, you will naturally just live longer based on physical health, not based on, life. But if you can get up, that means you are in prime optimal health. So let's just try to stand up without using our hands. Okay, once you get up, I want you to shake your arms out and shake your legs out. Get really, really nice and loose here. We just opened up the hips so much. I know it's kind of weird, but you're in your house and you can do whatever you want. And we'll stay here standing for a moment, figure 4 cross. So the right foot will be up. So lift your right foot, take a cross here. So your right ankle right on top of your left knee. Why can I not balance? And shift your hips all the way back. So we're moving to a different plane now. So we already did our fire log stack. Now we're moving our way into our standing figure 4. I have so much trouble balancing on days where my allergies are bad. I have some sinus stuff going on. If that's you today, take a wall. And we're just sitting the hips back. If you can see here, the hips will move back. Beautiful. And then we'll come all the way out of that, moving right into the opposite side since we're already standing. Extend your left leg towards me, bend the knee, plant the heel right above your left knee. And we'll sink the hips all the way back. Again, great time to use a wall. Really getting into the hips here. And maintaining that steady, deep diaphragmatic breath the entire time, especially when it gets uncomfortable. All right, come to standing. And we'll find ourselves back on the mat, seated. This time we put our opposite knee on top for our fire log pose. So this time, this right heel comes on top. Flex your top foot, flex your bottom foot. Hands at your heart. Deep belly breath in, spine is elongated, like there's space between your vertebrae. Exhale, twist to the left. Take that right elbow, place it right at the arch of the right foot. Hands to middle of sternum, gaze up or gaze neutral. Beautiful. Inhale, come back to center. And from here again, we forward fold over the legs. This is, a 45-degree fold is all I can really do in this. And that's perfect for me because I know my stretch is effective. What do I mean by that? If my stretch is up here, I don't really feel much. I'm just kind of sitting, If my stretch is all the way here, I am so far from where my effective threshold is that now I'm into my back and my low back might suffer. So I'm about here. Beautiful. Let's start to walk the hands back up. And we'll take the hands behind us, knees in front of us, fingers pointing towards you. So fingers point in. And take some windshield wipers here, moving left to right. Spine is nice and straight, heart is nice and open. Don't allow for any hunching with the shoulders. Roll them up, 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 and back if you feel it. And then from here, find some stillness. Moving into reverse table, slowly start to lift your hips, shifting the weight into your feet and your hands. Here we go. Inhale, come up, look back. And exhale, come all the way down, tuck your chest. Tuck your chin into your chest. One more time. Inhale, lift up from the hips. Squeeze the glutes on the way up. And exhale, release. We'll try that one more time. Inhale, come up. And exhale, come down. Beautiful. Let's slowly start to extend both legs to the front of the house. And we'll keep our right leg where it is. Pull this left heel in. So your left heel is as close as you can get it to the pelvis. You can also flip the top of the left foot up in the hip crease, and that's completely up to you. It's the same pose essentially. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, tip it forward. Hand to feet, nose to knee, or chin to shin. Beautiful. Inhale, look up, and exhale, release your feet. All right, we'll find our mermaid pose. So this is kind of like that 90-90 pose if you've ever been to like a physical therapist. So this front leg is like at 90, and this back leg is at about 90. Okay, and if you want to pull this back leg in, it's kind of dependent on your range of motion in your left hip. So the right leg is forward, the left leg is back, left foot is behind you. Take your right hand to the side of you, so right hand by right hip. And on your next inhale, we're lifting up the hips. So it's a big breath in. Take your left arm up. Exhale, come on down. Let's try it again. Inhale up. Exhale down. You can take this arm with you, or it can stand your hip. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale, stay back. Let's take it over to the left hand down. Inhale, right arm comes up. Feel this intercostal stretch. And exhale, come back. Let's try it again. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, release. Last time. Inhale, up and over. Beautiful. And exhale, let's roll out of this. So now we're coming into our bird dog. Left leg extends behind you, right arm forward. For a nice little spinal balance here, take 3 breaths. Beautiful. Bend the back leg, reach around with the right hand, and catch your foot for tiger pose. And we'll slowly release. Knee down, hand down, cross your ankles behind you. Come to seated. We'll go right into the opposite side for our mermaid pose. This time your left leg is in front of you and your right leg is behind you. Take your left hand right by your left hip. And all we're doing essentially is lifting the pelvis and lowering the pelvis. You can use this arm if you want. Take a deep breath in, come up, and exhale, sink. We're really targeting the psoas here. Inhale, up. Exhale, sink. One more time. Inhale, reach high. And exhale, come down. Right hand right outside of your knee, or you're in front of your knee. Inhale, up and up, open. Moving with your breath here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, close. Last time. Inhale, reach and hold. Beautiful. Let's spiral out of this. Now we're spiraling to the back side of the mat, and we'll take our left knee down, extend your right leg, foot is flexed in your left hand. 3 breaths. Belly in, knit your ribs back, your whole transverse abdominis is fired up. Those are that girdle muscle that runs from your hip point to your hip point. Beautiful. Hand down, knee down. Tap the tops of your feet on the floor just to get a little sensation. And we'll take our big toes to touch. Knees go the width of your mat, hips back, hands down, forehead down. For your happy baby, or your child's pose. All right, moving into our thread the needle. Let's come up, take this left hand up, and then weave it all the way through, taking your left ear down, your forehead down. You can take this top hand over. You can also extend the right leg beside you, either way. Beautiful. Let's come all the way back through and up. And this time we'll take our right arm up and then weave it underneath. Coming all the way back through. And we'll cross our ankles again and we'll come to a wide straddle. You'd like to move the width of your mat. Feet stay flexed. We have an external rotation in both of the legs. Take your arms out and we'll tap the right toe and the left toe. I want you to start to sync your breath with your movement. So inhale, reach to the right. Exhale, reach center. Inhale, reach to the left. Exhale, reach to the center. Let's take that a couple times, just working through this mini flow here. Exhale, release. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, center. Last time, both sides. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, center. And last time, inhale, up and over. Exhale to center. From here, walk your hands forward. We are tipping the hips back, taking the chest forward. Maybe your forearms come down. Maybe you can flatten out like a full-on pancake. Whatever variation you need, please go there. Probably gonna hang out on my forearms today, keeping my feet nice and flexed. Externally rotating, pushing the hips away, the kneecaps down. Let's take 2 more breaths here. I know it's very uncomfortable. We don't spend a lot of whole time in our middle splits. For obvious reasons, it's pretty uncomfortable for most of us. But every time you come here, know that it is useful and you will be more open than when you begin. And that, my friends, is the magic of mindful movement, yoga, asana, and deep pranayama. Pranayama just means breath. And walk your hands back into your midline. Whew. And we'll take both of our heels in. Finding some movement here in our Baddha Konasana. These just come up and down like a butterfly. And we're preparing for pigeon pose. This will be our final pose in this round of leg stretches for your hip. Front of your mat, let's start with our right leg. So right leg is forward, keeping your foot flexed. Remember, we are all about knee health here. So keep your right foot flexed, back knee down, top of your foot down. Pigeon pose. We say a lot in yoga, keep this foot parallel, or this leg parallel with the top of your mat. I kind of want you to ditch that and pull it in a little bit, maybe more than you usually would. Now from here, I want you to inchworm the foot away from your left hip point and see where you land. See where you find that edge where you're uncomfortably comfortable. And when you get there, I want you to take a deep breath in, square your hips, and on your out breath, start to forward fold. And again, see where you land. Find that threshold. We'll take 5 deep belly breaths here. Last 2. And last one. Beautiful. Inhale, look up. And on your out breath, let's start to collect ourselves. Put your hands underneath your shoulders. We are going to curl under the left toes, pull this right knee into the chest, and then send it back to down dog. So we have gone a whole yoga class without visiting down dog, and that's okay, especially on days where you know what area you need to target. Take 3 breaths in down dog.
I will also say that some people who I teach yoga to absolutely despise down dog because of their wrist flexion. I have a client who has bionic wrists, and down dog is just not a pose that she goes to ever, and that's okay. So we really want to double down on what it means to make a yoga practice yours, and that is it. Is that if you know what your body needs, be your biggest teacher. Let's step this left knee forward, and we'll find half pigeon on the left. So back knee down, top of the foot down, this right heel, right hip. The further away the heel goes from the hip, the more intense it'll be. So I want us to start a little bit less intensity, so that heel comes towards the hip, and now inchworm it out. When you find that sweet spot, comfortably comfortable, breathe in, breathe out, and fold. 5 breaths here. Beautiful, last big breath in. And put your hands underneath your shoulders, curl under your right toes. Pull your left heel into the glute, knee to chest, and then stand both feet. Pedal at your feet, down dog. Beautiful. And drop your knees, cross your ankles behind you. Let's come all the way down to our back for Shavasana. For Shavasana today, I want to set us up in Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta just means in the supine, so you're reclined. And your hips are so nice and open. You are so prepared for this pose. Heels together, toes together. Let your knees just fan out. A lot of times when we do this, we start to really cling, like the muscles start to really cling in the hips and in the back. So if you notice some like tension or compression, I want you to take your hands to your thigh bones, and I want you to gently release and come out of it for a little bit and take your feet wide, knees together, okay? Just to release it. And then maybe you try again, taking your heels and your toes together. Let your knees just gently fan out. And if you need less on your hips, I want you to take your feet all the way down to the base of your mat. So it'll give you a little bit more support. Still touching, still toes touching. And if you need more, walk them in as much as you would like to. One hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Breathe and rest. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers. And then take your hands to your knees or to your thigh bones, and slowly, with the use of your biceps, pull the knees back together. Push them back together. Heels go wide, knees come in to touch. Reach your arms back. Slowly reach your feet forward. Full body stretch. Then we'll pull our knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. If you need more time in Shavasana, just know that you can stay here for as long as you like. And as we make our way back to seated today, you can roll to the right or left and then push up. Hands gently find your heart, gaze softens. From my heart to yours. All my love and all my light. Namaste.